I'm Brett Hayworth, and we have a special news extra today. The Western Iowa Tech Community College officials have approved an early retirement package for a few employees, including the president, who is Terry Murrell. President Murrell told us today here at Siouxland Public Media News that he has made his decision to retire. This had been on the board agenda for a couple monthly meetings and had some time to give thought to it. So thank you for joining us here today to tell us this is a very groundbreaking change for the leadership at Western Iowa Tech.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Right, to begin with, what is the reason? Why is this the right time for you to retire?
I really thought about this for a long time. You know, my life has changed a lot in the last 15 years, and last few years I've had some personal loss, and that's really changed my priorities in life. Made me sit back and think, what do I want to do? What's everything for? At the same time, I really feel like that I've contributed all that I can to the school. When I started this position 14 years ago, I really had a strong vision for what I wanted to try to do and what I've wanted to try to accomplish. And I've been fortunate, actually, everything that I had on my list, I've kind of ticked off. And if I start looking at the future, I'm not sure I have that same vision moving into the future. And I don't think it would be fair for the college to me to stay when I don't have that. So I think it's the right thing to do for me to get out of the way and let the college hire the next leader who really has that vision to take the college into the next stage. And easiest thing for me to be would be sit in this chair and make a lot of money. But I think that I feel much better about where I'm at and that this is the right time.
Thank you for that. And for those who don't know, Western Iowa Tech, what's the size of the college in terms of employees and then number of students?
Sure. We write about 800 and 900 checks every month. So those are going to be full-time and part-time, adjunct, all that kind of stuff. And then as far as students, our fall is starting, and we're going to be right around 5,400 students.
And there has been some controversy associated with the college over the last few years concerning the J-1 visa program. Did that factor into your decision to not continue as president?
No, I don't think so. I think if anything, it made sure that I continued on. The J-1 program was a setback for the college. I think it was a niche program that we ran. We got in a little over our heads. We made some problems, or we made some mistakes, which I think I've been willing to admit. We're at this point, I think we're just trying to put that behind us and make sure that we take care of our students and that we move forward. Okay. So no, I don't think that played into the decision at all.
So I'm curious if you could describe when you first came to Western Iowa Tech Community College, what was the scope of the college at that point, and what were the needs of it, and then I guess how is it standing as you're going to leave here next summer?
Sure. I came to the college as vice president and was really drawn to the college because of the staff. In my interview process, I just really saw a passion for the staff to really, who cared about their students, cared about their communities. And I thought, of the different options that I had, this was by far the best option. Also got to mentor under Dr. Dunker for about 4 years. And then really what we were dealing with, I think, at the time that I became president was really a shift in the community college movement, but I think a shift particularly here in moving from an access institution to a success institution. By access institution, what that means is community colleges were created to be in the community and make sure that we were accessible to everybody in the country, and in particular in Iowa, everybody in the state. And community colleges just kind of took that on as their mission, and certainly we were concerned about success, but success wasn't the most important thing. And I think if there's anything that I tried to bring to this position, and that is that we need to make sure that everything that we do is for the success of our students. And we were able to actually almost triple our graduation rate from 14 years ago. And so I think that we've been able to do that. But I'm quick to say that I certainly don't do anything. It's all our staff, and we've got staff that cared, were passionate, and really applied themselves towards that mission, and were able to make a huge impact on our students.
We're talking with Dr. Terry Murrell, who the Western Iowa Tech Community College Board of Directors today approved an early retirement package for a few employees, including the president. And then with that, do you have a departure date by which you'll be gone next year?
Yeah, right now I put in for May 15th. So, our academic year graduation's May 11th, so that gives me a few days to kind of tie up and let the next leader take over and start planning for the next year.
I want to ask another follow-up. We talked about how things have changed over your time here as president. I know one thing that Western Iowa Tech officials really pride themselves on is having programs that fit for the community. And if an employer or some entity comes, like, hey, we need this niche program, can you describe a few of those programs that have been added over your tenure here?
Sure. We've actually added quite a few. I think one of the first ones that we did, which is one of our premier programs today, is our culinary program. And that came about at the time that the Hard Rock was looking at coming into our community. And one of their concerns was, is there enough talent in the food service area for them to be able to run all the myriad restaurants that they were looking into. And so that got us taking a look into us and really stepping forward and starting our culinary program. We also started an audio video program, started audio first, and then the TV stations came to us and said, hey, we're kind of an entry-level market, and we need to make sure that we've got people that are ready kind of for that entry-level market. And so they asked us to start a broadcasting program. We were able to start that. We started a number of other programs, from video game to interior design. Gosh, you're making me really think, Brad. I hadn't done that, but we've transitioned a number of programs and started a number of programs really to meet the needs of our employers. And oftentimes it's really more of a transition. I can think when I started, we had an electronics program. Well, we don't have an electronics program anymore, mainly because people throw away consumer electronics. We don't fix those. But our electronics programs really transition more to an engineering program.
Thank you. And just hearing that's a very broad list of lots of changes that have happened. So how do you feel about leaving? I know that it's several months off, but how do you view that and processing through that, and that you have this transition coming?
Well, I haven't let myself process it yet. But I suspect in the next couple of months that certainly will happen. For me, it's, as I mentioned before, it's all about the people and the staff. And if you've got a minute, I tried to write down what maybe some of the staff's accomplishments have been over the last 14 years that we've got on here. And I think we really tried to focus on our campus and try to make it something that our students and our employees and our community can be proud of. And if you haven't been up on campus, I encourage you to do so. We really do have a world-class campus here, and something that I'm hoping that people can be proud of. We've really invested in our technology and to make sure that we have learning spaces that are appropriate for our students. So whatever program that they're going into, we really tried to craft those learning spaces that would help our students as they went into that. We give every one of our students a MacBook computer, and we really did that because we serve the highest percentage of students of poverty of any other community college in the state. And what we found is we had some students who had the tools that they needed to be successful and some that didn't. And I think we're the first community college, and maybe even still the only community college in the nation, that gives every one of our students a computer. And we didn't go with a low-end computer. We really went with a high-end computer so that they wouldn't run into any issues. And that's really leveled the playing field. So everybody's got the tools that they need to be successful in their classroom. We received the largest Title III grant in the history of the Department of Education, and we did that really to rethink our developmental education program, and we made it more of a service than a program. So students don't have to pay extra money to take developmental courses. We're going to help them get that knowledge as they go along. I went back and looked in the last 11 years. We've received $48 million worth of federal grants. And that's really a high amount. Most colleges aren't, certainly our size, aren't able to get that amount. And those grants have really helped us transform the college and be who we are. We are the only community college to be named Apple Distinguished School for 3 years in a row. I think what that does is it highlights the innovation and the creativity that we've been able to put in our education, but also when you're named an Apple Distinguished School, you get a lot of resources from Apple. We've got an engineer from Apple that'll take our call and help us with any issue that we're having with our students, and that's really been something that's been fantastic. We talked about some of the programs we started. We also started athletics. We started a number of services for our students. We've got a food pantry that we didn't have, a health center. We tripled our mental health services. We built a new set of dorms. We added a new front entryway. We added a campus in Lamar's. And today we named our new Career Academy in Denison after one of our long-serving board members, Rick Frank. Our Phi Theta Kappa chapter, and Phi Theta Kappa is the International Honor Society for the two-year colleges, was named the top chapter in the world. So the top chapter in the United States, but also the top chapter in the world in 2023. And obviously there's only one every year that's able to do that. So, we also have very, very high-level honor students here at the college, which is something that has been fantastic to work with. We got an opportunity to really rethink who we are. We redid our mission statement. We redid our values. We created a new brand and a new logo to share with people that we think we're a different college than we were 15 years ago. And hopefully after I leave and a new person starts in, they'll be able to do some of the same as they put their stamp on things. And then I just got an email actually a week ago that Niche, which is it's a website, but they rank educational institutions, for 6 years in a row has ranked Western Iowa Tech as the top community college in the state, and named us the 14th best community college in the nation, which I think gives us an indication of some of the work that we've done. And probably the thing that I would say I'm most proud of, and probably the thing that I had the littlest impact on, is that we've got over 10,000 graduates in the last 14 years that have been able to go out and provide for their family, to make our Siouxland businesses excel, and to really allow our community to grow and become the community that we're at today. So I feel real good about the work that our staff has done these last 15 years, and I'm hoping that I can continue to enjoy that with them here over the next few months, and then go on to what's next.
And thank you, Western Iowa Tech Community College President Terry Murrell, for giving us first news today here on Monday, September 8th. After a board meeting in Denison today, that there's a package of early retirement for some employees here at the college, including yourself. So you'll be taking that, and your last day, you said, will be May 15th.
May 15th, yep.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.